Hello, my name is Vierra. I am a senior who goes to Western Sierra Collegiate Academy. I have been attending that school since freshman year, and a sport I enjoy doing is football. I started when I was a sophomore. However, I did start spring training when I was a little freshman, and I have been playing for 3 years, and I absolutely adore it. It has been one of my favorite sports that I look forward to every fall, because it's that feeling you get on the field, like the adrenaline rush that I absolutely love. My freshman year, in early spring, I was on the softball team, and it was my first year. I had never really played a contact sport before, and our coach was really harsh and really mean. He was even harsher than my current football coach, which says something. And he made me cry after one game, and my father told me, you need to toughen up a bit and learn to take it and learn to be yelled at. So a few days later, or more like a few weeks later, the head football coach comes around asking for football sign-ups, and I thought to myself about what my dad told me, like, oh, you need to toughen up. So basically what I did was I signed up for football, and I've been playing it ever since. So I first told my dad, and he was really shocked. He was kind of panicked. He didn't know how, it looked like he didn't know how to work his way around that, like saying, oh, okay, I guess you do you, and I mean, I'll be supportive of it, but just know it's dangerous. It's a little different than playing with girls, and you're playing with guys. My mom, however, was very supportive of it, and she was very happy for me. It was terrifying. Obviously, I'm surrounded with a lot of more guys than girls. There is one other girl on the team, so that's provided some sort of a comfort for me. Putting on pads was definitely different, especially being a girl. And I don't know, like, it's like you get out there and you just look at like the field and you're like, wow, this is what I want to do for the next 4 years. It gives a realization to you as a person, like, oh wow, I'm playing football. I'm playing with 300-pound guys who are twice my size.
What? This is brilliant. Nobody's ever gets this perspective before. Is how your teammates treat you then completely different than it was now, or were you always immediately accepted?
Obviously it takes a bit of warming up to, especially having another girl join the team. They were a bit more distant in the beginning, you know, but like soon when you start doing different plays and you start learning more about the teamwork that goes into it, they start treating you more and more like a sibling. And currently I'm close with everyone who I started the team with, and we're basically like siblings. Like, you'll see us in the hallway, we punch each other, we get shoved around. It's basically like one big happy family. I was given the nickname Team Mom, and I have been for the past 3 years, because I'd always make sure they're okay, make sure they're hydrated, eating well, and they would do the same for me. And on the field, I made sure everyone knew their position. Especially like my first year, I picked up on things really quickly. Like, I memorized all my plays, memorized my positions and where coach would place me. And that's what I brought to my family. That first time, I was just nervous. I was shaking. I was completely on an adrenaline high. I couldn't believe that I was actually doing this. You see it so much in movie scenes where you see all those players running out on the field, and then you finally get to experience it on your own, and you're like, oh my god, it's like a complete like wake-up call. So yeah, I have a certain playlist I listen to before games, and I normally drive my sister with me, and she knows what songs to play just to get me the right motivation before a game. I think my favorite moment for football would be when we scored that winning touchdown when there was like 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter against Forest Hill. And this was during our COVID year, and it was our only league game. And just the adrenaline, like everyone's crying, the coaches are throwing papers in the air, like we all just can't believe we just scored. And they had been our biggest enemy, I guess, for the longest time, and we finally won against them during our COVID season, where we had been practicing since October, and I think we won against them in March. Yeah, football sore is definitely a lot different than softball sore. For softball, I remember like it was more my arms that were sore from swinging the bat all the time, or I'd have bruised knees. But football sore, that's especially after the day after a game. I stay in bed for like longer, like probably like till 12. In the afternoon. I can't really move anything. I take Advil. I make sure I rest well, but like I'm covered in bruises. I get some questionable looks often because of them. Teachers will sometimes say, "Hey, is everything okay at home?" I'm like, "No, it's just football. Don't worry about it." That was one of the hardest nights of my life, I think. I spent a good portion of my night on the field talking to everyone. I met my football coach's dad, who was the head coach of my football coach's high school. It was incredible. Like, I remember I was a hot mess. I was just in tears, and I stayed until all the lights turned off. I couldn't believe that was my last night on the field. I think when that final play finished, me and like all the seniors, we all looked at each other, and like it's just kind of like that like moment that just kind of hits you that it's all over. And you probably will never be on that field again. I feel like it's probably not going to be any different than it is now. My brothers is what we call each other. They're probably still going to treat me like their little sister. They're probably still going to be in my life regardless, even after I graduate, because we all have stayed in contact all the time, even over COVID. 10 years, the conversations are probably going to be a lot about, oh, are you still playing? Or they'll probably grab a football and we're probably all going to go outside and play football. Football changed softball because I learned to take the criticism that the coach gave me. My head coach is very strict, and he's, you know, all coaches have requirements that must be made. And I mean, I pretty much got used to my coach yelling at me all the time, and now compared to the softball field, like a little, hey, oh, you need to do this and this better, compared to what I get on the football field is really nothing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very similar to a lot of the reactions I have now, which is you get a mixed reaction. It's like, oh, really? Like powder puff? Like girls football or like flag football? And you have to explain to them, and then I will have to show pictures that, hey, no, I played with guys who are normally twice my size. Or it'll be the reaction like, oh no, that can't be true. There's no way that could be true. But yeah, it's mostly either supportive or a little skeptical. Yes, there is a good portion of respect that comes with it, especially if you talk to someone who has known the work and effort you put into football, especially since it's a male-dominated sport. Saying you played football as a girl can make people instantly respect you 10 times more, because they know it's not easy. You put in so much work, and mostly you're out there with guys, which is not always easy because they're faster than you, they're mostly stronger than you. I would tell them it's okay, you can achieve anything. Just because someone tells you you can't do it, prove them wrong. Prove them wrong, and see the look on their face when you do, because that is the best reward, especially when someone tells you, oh, you shouldn't do this because you're a girl. And just proving them wrong, and the reaction on their face is completely priceless. I think I've proven my coach wrong several times, actually. He'll be like, oh, he'll say a play, and I'm like, coach, isn't that wrong? And he'll be like, oh, yeah. I think my coach, who is, I mean this in the nicest way possible, strictly more male-based or male-focused, I kind of earned my place to have his respect as a coach, and kind of be like, hey, I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing, I know. Even in the very beginning, I mean, I didn't know that much about football, but I kind of made sure, hey, I put in the effort, I put in the hours, and I'm showing the coach that I'm putting in the hard work. Then I will earn his respect. And that's how it is with the teammates as well.